Thanks for joining us. My name is Kevin Anyango, founder of Tandao Varsity School of Soft Skills. The platform talks about those behaviors or characteristics that employers are looking for, or that opens up opportunities. Today, I am not alone. Today, I'm with one and only Esther Kazungu. Esther, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Kevin.
And I've got to tell people that, you're not just Esther, like, you're big in Kenya, aren't you?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, come on.
I don't know.
Come on. Don't play modest. We know who you are.
No, okay, yeah. Some people know me and I'm grateful. I'm grateful.
Some people, and so, but how do I refer to you as? I mean, you're a journalist, are you a comedian, are you an artist? Who is Esther?
So I'm no longer a journalist. I used to be a video journalist when I was formally employed in the years between 2018 and 2020, beginning of 2020. And then I left employment to pursue content creation full time. Now I had begun content creation in 2016, but it was on and off because employment was taking so much of my time. So when I got tired, I decided let me give content creation another try, and then now that's where I am right now. And I'm also a digital activist because I champion for great leadership, and I advocate for young people knowing impact. No, equipping themselves with knowledge so that they can make better decisions when it comes to leadership and development. Yeah.
Well, talking about employment, so many people do the other way around. They will leave content creation and go to employment because of security. So, I mean, where do you get that confidence from?
But it happened that way for me because I started with content creation. Then when I finished campus, I went into employment for a short while because I realized my content creation wasn't really working. The first time I tried content creation, it didn't really work the way I expected it to work and as fast as I wanted it to work. So I went into employment, and I wasn't really going into employment saying, this won't work. So I thought I would be able to do both. And so I'd have maybe like 2 sources of income. Yeah. But unfortunately, working at a media station and a media house is so time consuming. I literally had no time for the content creation. And for me personally, it really made me less creative. It gave me like such a huge, very long creative block, such that I was not even able to express myself in a creative way outside of the office. Most of my time was spent in the office. So it was like eat, sleep, drink, work. And I didn't have, I didn't have that time to scroll through social media and get inspired. I didn't have time to look at my environment, like a new, fresh environment, and get inspiration. So that really, it really drained me when it comes to the creative side. So I got the confidence, as you have called it, to leave when I felt very exhausted. Like I wasn't physically exhausted, I was mentally and spiritually exhausted. I was very drained. I was not happy, and even financially, I felt like this is just a waste. I'm putting in so much and getting so little in return. And Corona was like such a blessing, because now when we started working from home, I started slowly going back into content creation. And then I saw that my insights were coming back up and everything. And I figured, let me try this one more time. And I wasn't that consistent. So I decided I'll be consistent. I'll be as consistent and push myself to heights I've not pushed myself to before. And then just see how it works.
Yes.
I if it wasn't for the parliament videos, I don't know if I'd be back in formal employment, because that was what skyrocketed me and just gave me a lot of deals, and I was able to sustain myself as a content creator. Otherwise, if it was not for that, I do not know where I'd be right now.
Well, Kazungu, you're very modest here, but let me just go back again. I mean, most of your videos, they do receive quite good viewership. So when COVID happens 2 years ago, many countries in Africa, and I'll be very, very direct. I think Kenya, Nigeria, and South Africa, most of the young people went online to try and create content and for entertainment. So how does it work? For people listening to us right now and think of, this sounds good to me. What do you say content creating? It's not just about comedy. It's, what exactly does it entail?
So, okay, I'll speak personally on my behalf and then speak like for maybe people I've interacted with who are doing something different from me. For me, how it started, it was just me expressing my creativity. It was nothing more. Especially at the very beginning of it all in 2016, I just wanted to express the things that go on in my mind. I didn't look at it in a commercial way at any point. I was just literally trying to find a place to express myself, and I did it through videos, and people enjoyed it. And so in the long run, I feel like that's really the best way to start, and that's really the best foundation, because you're always able to go back and remind yourself, but you know what, you're never always just posting because you're waiting for comments and likes and everything else. I remind myself that you just want to express yourself, like what is on your mind, your thinking process, what you saw when you looked at something, what you saw when you looked at this piece of video, what you saw. It's like, it's just me expressing myself, and it becomes so easy. It becomes so easy when you're doing it that way. It becomes difficult when the first thing that comes to mind is, I want to do this so that I can get money. It becomes very difficult, because now when you don't have the drive and nothing is working out, that means you're gonna stop right there.
Yes.
For my friends who are doing lifestyle, it's just like the name suggests, they are sharing about their life, and that's something interesting. And I find lifestyle content creators very interesting, because you find some things you can relate to, and they open you up to things you have never seen before. You're like, I'd like to try that out. So that's basically what content creation is. And then now it becomes commercialized, where now brands want to approach you and engage with your audience in the way you engage with them. And
Interesting. And so those people that say that hakuna kazi, hakuna job, there are lots of people of age at home, live employment, but here there's a platform here that is free. So what do you tell them? Nikujitu mama?
That's really such a very, it's a touchy topic for me, and a very, I feel like there's no straight answer really, because especially in Kenya, it's not like people are just seated. Some opportunities are really, man, they just don't happen. I don't know who it happens to. I'm glad that it worked out for me. But then again, I can't sit down and say that anyone who it hasn't worked out for, it's because they did not work hard. Because people are really working here. People are trying their best to do what they can. But I feel like it shouldn't be something you force. For example, okay, yes, the platform is free, and everything that goes on there is kind of looks easy, but it's not. It really isn't. So it doesn't really have to be content creation. It can be you have this thing that you do that is tangible, or it's a product you're creating, but finding ways now to put it online so that it can have a wider reach. That's now the other side of using that free platform. It doesn't really, not everyone needs to be a content creator, because not everyone really has the skill, or even the skin, because content creation and being like that person, that's something else. Like, people will come at you with negative comments.
Yes.
And it's not as easy as, oh, me, I posted, I'm fine. Sometimes it's gonna get to you. So I will not say that they're just like seated and doing nothing. Of course, there are those ones who are, it's just, again, it's a matter of self-awareness. Like, when you sit down and look at yourself, have you really tried all that you can or all that is available, or you're just like, you tried once and it failed and you're like, peace out, it's not for me, you know. So it's just a matter of, it's a huge percentage of it is about self-awareness and just knowing, have I really done the work? Yeah.
Well, self-awareness. Again, for those that have just joined us, my name is Kevin Anyango. I'm talking to Esther Kazungu, a content creator based in Nairobi, Kenya. Now, Esther, for those people just listening to us right now, watching us, and so what do you do then? I know we talk about content creation, but just define to us again. I mean, so you're not, I know I asked this, but I'll ask again.
No, it's okay.
So it's not being a journalist. You don't need to be a journalist to create stuff online, isn't it?
Oh, hell no. No, this has nothing to do with me being a journalist, but the fact that I was a journalist and
Right.
studied journalism in school kind of helps me here and there, because some things I really scrutinize before they go online. I have to fact check. I have to be very when about certain topics that I put on my page or discuss on my stories. I have to have facts. So journalism is really helping me out over there. However, not everyone needs to have been a journalist. Lifestyle content creators don't have to have been journalists for them to become content creators. Right. Being a creator is basically just that, you know, it's in the creator word. You are creating something. It might be, and it doesn't have to be something that's not like, you know, intellectual property. It can be now something that someone can touch. So being a creative is wide. It's very wide. So being a content creator now is when now it just kind of boxes it into creating content in terms of picture, video that people consume, either relate to, either it makes them think about something, or it makes them influenced.
Right. Talk about influence, and I want to connect that with self-awareness. Again, those people that, you know, look for employment and they're like, I don't even know myself. So how do you discover that you've got a talent, Esther?
I don't think anyone ever gets.
No, but you need a talent though.
I feel like no one ever gets there per se, because when you say, okay, maybe there are. Okay, let me speak for myself. Let me speak about my process. For me, I usually
Carry on.
For me, I didn't just come out and say, yeah, I'm talented, I can make people laugh. I usually avoid saying that by the because again, content and you know, comedy and, you know, humor, they're all relative. So to someone else, I might be funny to some people, not funny to some. I might be smart to some people. Okay, me, I'm smart. Those people who don't think I'm smart, that's on you. That sounds like a problem. At least that's what I can confess. But yeah, I might be funny to some people, not funny to some. Something might be beautiful to someone, not beautiful to another person. So for me, personally, I considered myself talented when I looked at the work I have created, and I was very impressed with it. And it was so important for me for it to come from within, because if everyone else is dictating what I am, the minute they think otherwise, I'm not going to be, I'm just going to say, oh, they're right. And it's going to be that I'll hang my boots and be like, peace. Then I don't know how to do this. So for me, it was when I could look at my work and say, wow, this is amazing. This is, wow. I don't even know how you thought of that, but wow, I'm so happy I'm you. And then how
do you build that, Esther? How do you build the self-drive? Because clearly, you know, you're driven by your talent, by what you enjoy. So I suppose there are two things here. There's self-drive and then there's confidence. Maybe I should ask you. So the confidence you have, because you come across a very confident young lady. Right?
I do. Wow.
No, you don't.
My husband would not say this, because once in a while I'm just in the corner, I'm crying like,
no.
I'm just boring.
That's not what we see. That's why I approached you, because your confidence is amazing and it's admirable. So did that come from the family, from your bringing, or where do you get that confidence from? Because you can be good at what you do, but if you don't have that self-confidence, you know, you can be trashed by anyone really. But I won't mess up with you really, because you know your stuff, you you come across a very, they say, confident lady. So where is that coming from? Or how can young people develop confidence?
It mostly comes from the people around me, because I've had a very supportive family for sure. I've had I have an amazing husband. I have amazing friends. And anytime I try to devalue myself, they will come in very strong and very strict, and they just talk me back to where I'm meant to be. So I feel like for me, it has been the people around me really mostly. And that's, I use that to make it come from within. So again, it comes back to, it has to come from within. If the confidence is coming from, well, of course, I know my family will never be like, sir, umebo. I know they will never be like that. But again, I just have to use what they have told me and like remind myself for me, so that it's not being defined by strangers. So it's mostly people around me give me the confidence, because they keep reminding me how valuable I am. I am so grateful for that. Now that you've asked me, I realized they build me a lot. They build me from inside, internally, a lot. Yeah.
So how will young people develop confidence? Can you teach confidence?
No, I don't think you can teach confidence.
So
I feel like it's a yes and no answer, because to some extent, I feel like if you just take someone through like a series of, exercises or something, eventually it will come from within. Can you really teach confidence? I feel like it's a yes and no answer, in terms of you can show someone their process towards being confident, but you cannot give them that confidence. You can just show them, this is what I do, this is what I do, this is what I do. And they have to find something that works for them, because it's many things. You can't just, like, it's not one thing at a, because I talk to myself in the mirror every morning, I'm confident. Some people, it's because they listen to a certain music or they watch certain inspirational videos. So it's a lot of things that you can show someone the process, but you cannot give them or, teach them, this is one way, and that's it. Yeah.
Look, you've got to tell us this. I mean, so for those young people that listen to us, young girls really, for instance, that want to be Esther Kazungu, and they admire the way you carry yourself, the way you talk. So what will you tell them? How, if they ask you, I want to have a confidence like you, even workplace, you find people that are very, very talented, but they lack that you call self-awareness or confidence. So what will you tell them? How will they build their confidence then?
First, this is my favorite thing that people, like when I see it on a quote, I love it. I'd ask them to look at the friends they have and what do they think about them. So the same way they think so highly of their friends, why are they not putting that same energy into thinking highly of themselves? So it's a matter of, it starts with self-awareness again. I feel like everything goes back to self-awareness. Date yourself, spend time with yourself. What do you like that is not influenced by other people's opinions or what other people like or what the people you like? Sit with yourself and ask yourself, what do I really like? What makes me happy? What do I like doing? What lifts my spirit? What is the actual genre of things I like watching or listening to? It's just dating yourself and knowing, okay, so this is me, and then accepting that this is you. Even confidence, not just for like intellectual property or what you do, but even confidence for like, what is it called? Your physical appearance. Both of them. It's dating yourself and knowing, so this is me. I love me the way I am. And then pointing out specific things, because just saying I love me is not, it's not that deep. But saying, oh, I love how my tooth looks crooked when I do this, it's so specific, like, and then it's something now it starts standing out every time you see yourself, like, by the way, it looks weird, but it's a cute weird. It looks nice. So it's the same way even with your mind. You look at something and you're like, oh, I created this. Like nobody, even if there's somebody in another world who created it, you are the one who created this specific one that looks like this. So you just remind yourself who you are every day and say, I love this, every part of it, even the not so perfect side of it. Because that's another thing I was watching like an inspirational clip from YouTube, and they were saying the way as creatives, sometimes we have something in our mind, but when we create, it doesn't come out the way we want it to come out. But we forget that the people who are going to consume our art have not seen the image in our head. So whatever you give them is going to be, wow, how did you come up with that? Because they were not in your mind, they don't know the picture you had. But now for us, we're already sitting, it's not good, it's not, it should not be seen by anyone. So it's just accepting. I think it's accepting these many things. Like, you can't be perfect, but even the imperfections are beautiful. Everything you create is beautiful. It's unique. It's not everywhere, and there can only be one you. So you better do you to the best of your ability.
Well, I do like that. There can only be one you. I like that statement. Look, I know I'll let you go. But obviously, internet comes
already.
Well, what time do you have? I have the whole day. But Esther, internet comes with opportunity, but also with challenges. And I've got to ask you this about the mental health challenges. The trolls that are always ready to comment those negative stuff, and they really knock down young people, really. So I'm going to ask you about mental health. How you yourself, you're a confident lady, you're aware of what you can do. But how do you protect yourself from people getting to your mind?
So this has been a journey. I feel like it's still a journey because I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. Sometimes I do engage. You know the way people usually say, when you see like the bad comments, don't engage. They're not worth your time. I'm not there yet. I still give them my time.
So
once in a while, I still give them my time. Yeah. So sometimes I respond, and then after. And it's so funny that every single time I respond, I regret afterwards, because I realize this guy, we're not on the same level. Like, what was I even doing? What was I even doing? Yeah. But utilizing the block button is very good, because you don't, this is a stranger on the internet. They will never come to tell you whatever they're writing to your face. So utilizing the block button, I take breaks. I want to make it more intentional though, because when you consume so much content, and you at a point you will of course start comparing yourself with other people and what they're doing, and then just reminding myself that people are only posting their highlight reels. Even for me, people think I'm confident in everything. It's because I don't post when I'm crying at night. I don't post when I'm having those really low moments. I'm not posting. So the same way too, I limit my time. I try to limit. I'm not there. Even that's another thing I really need to work on, because I hate really just spending like the entire day you're just scrolling, consuming what other people are doing, their highlight reels, thinking you're doing nothing. And that's something I do a lot. It's like I sit down and think, I'm doing nothing. I've done nothing. But it's okay. Sometimes it's really okay to just sit and do nothing, because the mind is tired. Your spirit sometimes needs to reboot and to refresh itself. I take breaks. I utilize the block button. I try my very best not to respond to people. And then this is like very, very recently, I'm applying this. What people tell you is a projection of how they see their lives. So every time I look at a comment, I'm like, oh, this has something to do with you, and I hope you heal. Because it has nothing to do with me. For example, and this is so recent, somebody, you saw the Will Smith Chris Rock incident. And somebody on Twitter is tagging me and saying a petition to have Esther Kazungu then you recreate this. And I looked at the quote retweet, and there was a quote retweet that said, "Nah, we good." And like 2 years ago, that really crushed me. Like, why don't you want to see me recreate this? I'm good at this. Why? But right now, I'm just like, I know you've seen me so much. I'm thriving, and you're tired of me thriving. I get you, but it has nothing to do with me. So peace out. Like, I'm so chill about it, knowing that what people are saying is a projection of either what's going on in their lives, either they're miserable, it's usually people. Everyone is a main character in their lives. So when they're writing that to me, it has a lot to do with whatever is going on with their life. And I was once there, by the way. I used to be that person who wants company, because I'm just like, no, you can't be out here happy. So I will leave a comment that will make you question whoever you are. Yeah. So for my mental health, I'm really proud. I was somewhere in the pits beginning of this year, but right now I'm at a better place. I'm really grateful, and it's because of those things, those little things I'm doing, taking breaks, blocking people, and not engaging in anything that's not edifying me.
Wow. Well, I've got to apologize. Someone just sent me a text here and said
It's
that
okay.
I did not mention that Esther Kazungu is an award-winning artist.
Well, thanks to Bonnie, I mean.
All right. Oh, so you are an award winner. So this what award was this, Esther? I mean,
It was a past Twitter influencer award, and it's what happened. Bonnie won the award, went on stage, and I knew he will do this. This is how much I know this man. He said he'd like to dedicate.
You mean Boniface
Mwangi,
right,
the one
right, okay.
and only Boniface Mwangi. So he went on stage and dedicated the award to me. And yes,
but you are nominated.
Now I am.
But you are nominated. You are nominated.
Yes, I was nominated. Yes.
Right. Okay. I think the message sent, and yeah, someone said I should have mentioned that to you or to the viewers.
It's okay.
Now, Esther, again, people will say you find very well qualified young people, you know, even to PhD level, but they are at home saying that there are no jobs in Africa. There's no job in Kenya. What do you tell them then?
Man, I wish. Again, Kevin, you know my stance on this one. I can't just tell them something that's, you know, it's not black and white, because I don't know their actual journey. They might have like really tarmacked and have not found a job. And it's very sad because you see, there's usually the people who are book smart and, you know, their place is in the corporate world. And then there's us creatives. So if there are people who are like really meant for the corporate world, I will not lie, there are no jobs in Kenya. Unfortunately, our leaders have not done much for us when it comes to that front. Young people are really suffering. But when it comes to for that young person who is a creative and they have realized and they notice and they know that they are a creative, the online opportunities are endless. They are endless. And even for the corporate guys, I know there is like online academic writing. I know that's a thing. I tried, failed miserably. I was like, girl, I can write. My friend was trying to like recruit me to that world. And I was like, girl, you know your English and your language and all the best. Imenikata. For me, it wasn't for me. So yes, there are many opportunities. I think people need to really research. That's the thing. People need to research, because my opportunity can't be another person's opportunity. So it's just researching and finding what works for you in this online space and going with that. Because
is it their fault?
It's not their fault. I can never say it's their fault, honestly. I can never say it's their fault, because again, I don't know their personal story.
Look, Esther, you're an influencer, and clearly, you know, I'm speaking to you for a reason, and I don't just speak to anyone. I don't just speak on the platform, the people that are going to influence, and you've got an influence. Clearly, what you say matters a lot.
Yeah.
And I'll ask again. So those people that are at home, and you use your tarmac, they don't have an opportunity. So is it their fault, or is it the state's fault? Or what do you tell them?
No, why is it kungoja kazi? Now that's the thing. They can't, that's what I'm saying. They need to research on other opportunities that they can get that they will not really struggle in, because again, there are different things. And then again, what I'm saying is I can't really say if it's their fault, because I don't know everyone's personal story. There are people who, yes, they have done absolutely nothing, or they just went to summer once and decided, that's it, I'm done, and there's no work. But there are people who have also gone out and have really tried everything, and nothing at the moment is working for them. So there are two groups of people, Kevin. That needs to be very clear. There are two groups of people. Those who have gone out and have done all their best, have not quite found something yet, and I'm sure they're closer. It's like that picture for someone mining, and they get very close to the diamond. I'm sure you've seen that picture somewhere, and then they give up. So that's different, because that person is working towards getting something, or finding something. But there's now the other person who just sat there, has dug one akaenda. Now that person, that is their fault. That kind of person, that is their fault, because they're not researching, they're not going out to look for something that can sustain them, they're not really working towards creating an opportunity even for themselves. Yes.
Well, I like the word creating opportunity for themselves. So people at school now, so people right now in school that's let's say university graduates or about to graduate, and they'll be coming out here looking for employment. So what's the message for them?
My message for them would be not to be open-minded, because not so many people who are radio presenters didn't study journalism. So many people, and so many people, I feel like most people have just worked their way to where they want to be, and did whatever legally, whatever it took legally to get to where they need to get to. I have to emphasize.
I'm saying legal is objective.
Yes. They did what they had to do legally to achieve what they need to achieve. So, I mean, it's just a matter of going for what you want, regardless of what you studied in school. And especially in Kenya, please do not just go out there thinking, I studied for this is what I'm looking for. Look for it, yes, but in case it's proving to be harder than you thought it would be, look for everything else, because that's the thing. Even in when we're applying for jobs, see, they usually tell us that, oh, don't worry if they tell you they need, I don't know what experience. It's your language. That's what will ingiza them box. So you do what you out. Do. Sorry?
So how do young people stand out? Or as you say, everyone, for example, you look for employment and there'll be thousands of people who apply for that particular role, isn't it? But what's that trick? How could someone stand out? You with the experience.
I think something. I think something that I didn't do. I see so many career coaches nowadays, and I'm so glad they exist, because I'm seeing they also have positive returns. I don't know if they're negative returns, I'm not aware, but I'm seeing they have positive returns. So find someone to revamp your CV. Find someone to guide you in how to present yourself, how to be eloquent, because I know the CV is not the hard part. The interview and expressing yourself is the problem. Find a speech therapist if you have to. And if not, just read as many books as possible to be able to expand your vocabulary and make you as eloquent as you need to be, and so that you can stand out from the rest of the candidates. So I'm glad that it's also, in the world we live in today, there's so much information freely given to us. If you can't afford that speech therapist or whatever, there's the school of YouTube. There are so many people doing things or teaching people things, and that information is for free. So you can go on YouTube, research for anything you need to research on, even if you can't, even that one, the point I said about revamping your CV. If you're not able to afford, okay, it's not that expensive though. You can save up for this. It should probably be around 1,000 or 1,500. But if in case you cannot afford that as well, Google is there. Check out CVs and check out how the formats people use, what needs to be on the CV, what doesn't need to be on the CV. And even for these career coaches, and I love TikTok, because now TikTok has become it's like our crash course. So many information is out there in a very trendy way. It's just bam, 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 information. You've gotten what you need. So you can follow career coaches on TikTok, and they have, even if they won't have you in a class and teach you how to revamp the CV or revamp the CV for you, they'll tell you what needs to be on your CV and what doesn't need to be on your CV. They'll tell you what you need to say at an interview and what you don't need to say. They'll tell you how to answer specific questions in an interview, tell me about yourself, which is the worst question ever. But there's so much information on the interwebs that literally no one can say, I'm at a disadvantage. Okay, well, some people are at a disadvantage when they don't have a smartphone. But as long as you have that smartphone, you have no excuse.
Oh, Esther, you're so good, I tell you. You should have your own TV show. No, seriously.
I'm shy.
You're really good.
These are the things people don't know. I'm shy.
No, that's if this is shyness, then I want to be like that. So the last thing from me, Esther, is I mean, so where you're very eloquent, you know, the way you speak, you know, you are, yes, the way you speak, the way you carry yourself. So do you believe in mentorship yourself?
Yes, I do. I actually do. Yeah. Because
is it overrated though?
I don't know, man. Sijafika uko. Because
I'm talking to you.
When I say sijafika uko, it's because I've never really like had a mentor. Bonnie is actually my first mentor, and he's not become so strict yet. But yeah, I feel like I don't think it's overrated. Like having a mentor, what I can say is it's for some people, it's not for some people. Yeah. But so
but will you advise people? Again, listen, my target audience, young people, really, those with opportunity. So will you advise them? Like, you know, it's very important for you guys to have mentorship. You know, you talked about you know, how to stand out, and you gave us various things like, you know, speech therapies, how to your CV, how to appear. So, you know, you need to speak to somebody. So again, I'm asking you yourself. So is mentorship very important, or it's overrated? Should we just ignore it?
No, we should not completely ignore it, because again, I said it might be for some people, might not be for some people, but then you can't ever know without trying. So if there's a mentor at your disposal, go ask the questions, ask everything you need to ask, and let them pour knowledge into you. Don't be like, I'm in this new world, so I know what I'm doing. No.
But and I know. Will you mentor people, or do you actually do that yourself?
I know I've never tried because I don't know what it entails. If someone is to explain to me what it entails and like how to hold someone's hand, I'm an introvert. That's why most of the things that involve working with people, I am not so, or working or talking to people. Well, why are you shaking your head? I am an introvert.
No, I'm an ambivert. You cannot.
I am. Okay, what's the definition of an introvert?
Well, I was going to ask you that, but if what you do, you
give me the definition, because now people usually say no because I create videos and I'm online. But you forget that I create videos alone. I'm never like, this is not something I'm performing. It's something I'm in the house. I'm alone when recording. No one is watching me. No one is judging me. That's me. And then I hate going out. I really hate. Half the time you see me on my stories, I'm in the house. I hate going out. So I'm an ambivert, yes. And then it's that thing for once I know you, then I am full blown, just very social. But when I get into a room and I know nobody, you won't see me going to ask, oh, hi, so what's your name? Yes, my name is blah, blah, blah. And then I just start a story. Will never be me. I'll just go sit down in a corner. If somebody approaches me, then I will flow. So I am an introvert.
That is interesting. I'm not going to ask how old you are. I think I know how old you are. But let's think about mentorship.
So, how old do you think I am?
I do know how old you are because I know who you are.
How old am I?
Well, I do know how old you are. I'm not going to say that. But
how old am I?
I will not say that. But I do know how old you are. Fine. So Esther, again, so when people come to you, people of your age or younger than you, girls just come. I tend to use the word girls because, you know, the world is still not very fair to women in terms of opportunities, really. And lots of women looking for those options where they can stand out. So if someone comes to you and says, I want you to mentor me, is that something you'll do?
I think it's something I would have to research on first. Like I told you, I don't know what mentorship entails. I don't know how often I'm meant to check up on someone. I don't know how often I'm meant to, tell them. I usually don't. Most of my life has been just joyride.
So is that the problem then? That young people don't share information with each other? Because, we assume they were not very good in sharing.
Now for me, now it's different. What I can do, I can't really like actively say I am mentoring people. But questions, if you come to me with a specific question, I will answer you. That's what I do. Even for girls content creators who come to me and they're like, so this agency has done this and this and this and this. I freely give out that information because I don't want people to suffer the way I suffered. I asked, like when I was still young and still, you know, not having such a big, okay, when I was younger.
Correct, yes.
When I didn't have like a huge following, I remember approaching some guys who had like a bigger following than I did, just to ask them questions so that I could be able to, you know, create, for example, a rate card for myself. And I remember the heartbreak when somebody just, you know, leaves you unseen. So I will not like to do that. Anyone who comes to my inbox with a question, I always answer. Anyone who asks me, so I'm trying to do this and this and this, I don't know how to price myself, or I'm trying to do this and this and this. Do you have a proposal I can look at? That one I will always answer. So in short, for me, just anyone who wants to ask me a question about how to do something and it's a question I can answer, I will always respond. Yeah.
Let's finish by talking about sexual exploitation and abuse. You find lots of creators create amazing stuff, and when they want their stuff to go viral, you know, they come to people and someone says, before I do this for you, you've got to sleep with me. Not just in content creator, but even in employment as well, the formal employment, the white collar jobs. You find, again, young people look for opportunities and they're being told, okay, actually, I've got a job for you, but before I give you this work, you got to sleep with me. What do you say about that?
What's there to say though? It's just wrong, to be honest, because why are you not valuing someone for their skill? Like it's so unfair. It's just so unfair.
So sorry? How would young people protect themselves from such predators?
It's just having us like being firm on your stance, because once you start, what goes round, people are always gonna now, like the next person is gonna come to you, but you gave it to so and so. And I'm not saying that it's you know, it's justified that they come like that, but it's for you to create that boundary and say, I know I don't do this at all, so that you're known for not doing that at all. And I feel like the more people do it, and the more people speak about their experiences, the lesser such occurrences will have like that. Yeah, so it's very sad that happens, but then again, I think it should be now for people like us now just to say, no, we're not gonna go that way, and that's it. And people now will start understanding, but this is not, what am I doing? Will I ask another man to sleep with me for them to get, you know, a position? Start valuing people for what they have, what they bring to the table, and not what they have between their legs.
Esther, I cannot thank you enough for your time. I mean, it was very difficult getting hold of you. And thanks to Boniface Mwangi for making this happen. But I'm glad that, you know, we're in touch now, part of the network. I'll definitely come to you for lots of advice, lots of introductions. For those that have joined us, I was talking to Esther Kazungu, a content creator based in Nairobi, Kenya. Esther, thank you so much for your time, and I wish you all the best.
Thanks for having me. Thank you too. Bye.